Starting a business is hard. Staying in business is even harder. Today we're talking real estate with Terry and Abel Zepeda from the Zepeda Team. The South Chamber is pleased to present the business. So once again, we're here at the Sydney Brooks studio located at the South Chamber office. Our special guest, as announced, is Abel and Terry Zepeda from the Zepeda Team. Thank you guys for being here with us.
Absolutely.
Hello.
Hi. So tell me a little bit. I'm going to get right into some hard questions because certainly people have speculated the way the market might have reacted because of the pandemic. Terry, get you closer to the mic. How has the how have you guys fared out? How have you seen the market, I guess, so to speak, react in the wake of the pandemic?
Well, the pandemic definitely affected, but in a positive way. So one of the things that we noticed is that it actually peaked a little bit. So the people who had, if you will, the essential workers with the jobs that were secure, those are the ones who continue to be out and about, being able to take advantage of the low interest rates that ended up happening due to all of this. Right. So it actually was pretty good. We might be seeing some things, happening at the first quarter of next year, but all in all, during the pandemic, San Antonio's market did not slow down.
So I know you pretty much sell all over the city, but you've
Yes.
noticed some significant, I guess, increases in residential sales on the south side. And can you tell me what you're witnessing, what you're seeing as far as the consumer interest in the market?
When it comes to the south side, a lot of people are now looking at this area. In the
What
beginning,
do you think that is? What do you think that is?
Because now they're finally realizing that it's a good place to be. It's centrally located to a lot of the places, easy access to most all of the highways, no matter where you are on the south side. And we're growing.
Right.
So, Brooks City Base, you have a ton of growth out there. You have Southtown. Downtown is only 7 miles from us.
Traffic is not as bad.
That doesn't exist almost. So yeah, we don't want that problem though, right?
Right.
No, but with respect to this is where I'm going with my question. 5 years ago, our chamber set out and we started what we called the Integrity of School Districts Initiative, because what we're hearing from a lot of folks interested in the market was, but the schools. And so are you getting any feedback from folks, on that perspective of things? This is where I'm going with this question too. I'd like to think we've done the work that you're seeing some school districts, they're starting to become administratively accountable. The boards, you're noticing they're being more transparent and open and representative. Are you getting any feedback from folks that they're liking a certain school district a lot, or are you noticing anything like that?
Sure. So San Antonio Independent School District is improving how they do, I guess, their business.
Sure.
With that, implementing different programs. In addition to East Central Independent School District, you have Harlandale Independent School District, all that are now being recognized as, improving, what they're able to do. And you also have now a ton of charter schools that are opening up in addition to those private schools as well.
Yeah, we just interviewed Alfredo Segura from New Frontiers Charter School, and they were telling us about, how they've expanded, how they're noticing more interest in the market as well. Well, tell me a little bit about this family dynamic. When did you guys decide we're going to do real estate?
Oh, we just jumped in. We jumped in like crazy.
Deep end of the pool?
Yeah. She actually comes from the builder world. So she used to sell homes for Pulte Homes in the northwest side.
Okay.
I come from the construction side, so I used to work on oil rigs, and I used to do windows and glass.
Gotcha.
So for me, it was a big change.
Gotcha.
I'm learning it as I go, but I got an awesome teacher, awesome wife here next to me.
How long have you guys been in business?
So in the open market for residential, we are now hitting a little bit over 2 years. Doesn't feel that way just because I consider my entire scope of experience to include the new builder experience, because that really sets us apart.
Sure.
But yeah, so overall, a little bit 12 and a half years. And we're excited, and I wouldn't have changed our decision. It was one of the scariest things that we both have done, quitting our jobs at the same time. We still have children living at home. We have our mortgage, everything, and so it was a leap of faith.
Well, that seems like a good one so far.
Yes,
right?
so far so good. Yes, absolutely.
With respect to, you guys specialize in you said single family homes?
Single residential, yes.
Single residential. Mm-hmm. Is there any certain pockets that you want to talk about more that you're noticing are selling pretty well?
Well, what's great is on the southeast side of San Antonio, what's happening because of Brook City base, you have more developers that are now seeing interest. In addition, over on the southwest side of town, you now have builders coming in with different product. Yeah. MI Homes came in off of Beck Road, and they are coming in with this product that nobody ever thought of in the 400s, and they sold out like you wouldn't believe. In addition, you have a ton of other builders coming in now off of Sulphur Spring Road. You have Southton Road development.
Armadillo
Homes.
Rosh Coleman.
Yep.
Lennar, you got builders coming in, Express Homes. They're all coming in now to where before no one was really touching the south side in the builder world.
Well, you touched on this one, a $400,000 price point. Well, Brooks, Toyota, now Navistar's coming in the market, TJ Maxx. We've created some great paying jobs in the market. What we've noticed from some of the more senior level execs that want to live on the south side too, they're like, I just can't find
what you're looking for.
What they're looking for in that 400, 300 price point. Yep. I didn't even know that one existed. So that's do you see more of that coming?
That one's a hidden gem.
It sounds like it
because it has land to come with it.
Oh, okay.
Half-acre lots.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
I'm interested in this one.
I'm already on the waiting list. We actually have heard of some other builders, but it hasn't come to life, if you will. So that might be coming in even toward Palo Alto. Yeah. So and also similar type of product, but it just hasn't started. And so with COVID, that did push back, certain plans that builders had. But that's what we've heard. And so I think now with the success that one builder had, hopefully we'll get a little bit more in there because their first phase sold out faster than they could have even imagined.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
And think about that too. I think about the quality of inventory that was developed maybe, in the 80s on the north side versus being able to have a half-acre lot near the city. That's crazy. That's awesome. That's incredible. Let me see. I'm going to ask some other questions about the family dynamics. Is there, without getting into like the whole idea of it, the reality shows that you see on TV, you guys are not necessarily in the business of flipping. You're just
correct. Right. So for us, it is hard work. Everybody, sees real estate, and they only see the congratulation posts, and it makes it look easy. The restaurants that you go out to eat and stuff like that. But real estate is hard. Real estate, if you're going to be successful, is a lot of hard work, and it is constant. Literally, I have to stop myself from working because it can be a 24/7 thing where you're on the computer and you just have to find that balance for your family to be able to actually have that stable life. Sure. But real estate can be very rewarding. You just have to put a lot of work into it. And so we're doing that. Right. And we know what we have to do, and that's why we're so excited about what we do. I would not change our decision for 1 second because having each other to support one another, that is what sets us apart from other people. I really don't know how single agents do it because it is extremely hard.
Well, and I was gonna go into that. So you guys quit your jobs and then decided to dedicate yourself wholly to real estate.
Yes.
And I'm not trying to diss other agents out there in the market, but everybody has a cousin, right, that has a real estate license,
or a friend, or brother, or
cousin,
mother.
Theo.
Yes.
But more oftentimes than not, it may be doing a disservice when you kind of use a part-time agent, so to speak, versus somebody who. This is you know where the market's going, you're studying it, you're doing it, you're living it every single day.
That's right. I always say if you are going to, so just like with your position, right? Sure. If you're going to give it part-time, well then expect that part-time result.
Yeah,
that's right.
Absolutely.
So for us in real estate, I knew we had to go full force because otherwise we weren't going to get what we needed to get from it. And so we are 100%, this is what we do every day, all day long. And so when we do work with our clients, they, if you will, get 2 for 1. And if I'm not available, he's available, that's vice versa. And we even have an assistant, and we're growing our team as well to better serve our clients.
That's great. That's awesome. You mentioned the economic development that's been happening on some of these anchor places. Have you noticed the type of folks that are looking for homes, the kind of jobs they're coming from? Are they?
So it's pretty sporadic, but we do have a lot of teachers who want to stay close by to their work.
Sure.
We see a lot of Toyota. As well. We were seeing oil field too, to be able to generate business also on the south side, because it's so convenient when it comes to location. But really, people are now moving down from the north side as well. Lower tax rates, better traffic, closer to what's, the
downtown,
Pearl, all that stuff that's coming up and about in San Antonio. Now San Antonio is now seeing the South Side as a gem.
Yeah.
And we're kind of like, hey, we've always seen it.
Well, here and there, I get obviously interviewed, and I've seen some old clippings that we have in the office as well that just highlights is this the decade of the South Side? Is this the decade? And they've been talking about this since like the 80s. I've been saying I think we're in it. I think we're truly living in it. And where I share my thoughts on this is that I'm kind of glad we didn't develop the way maybe in the 80s some other pockets did, where that typical kind of division, and then a little retail strip, and then another one and a retail strip. This has a lot of character in the area, a lot of...
Well, like back then, when I was 26, I got my first home. Yeah. I got it in 6.1 interest rate. Oh, that's high.
Right now, that was good at the time.
Yeah. Back then it was good. Right now, we're putting people in at 2.5, and the main thing about the South Side, no one thinks they can get a home.
Right.
They're like, no, I can't. I'm just gonna rent. I'll just get an apartment. They're qualified. They just don't know the process.
Gotcha.
And that's where we come in hand
to
educate them and let them know that you can have ownership.
It's addicting, man. I'll tell you this much. And again, if you're thinking wisely with your money, I was in college. I went to A&M Corpus Christi, and I lived on campus the first year. What we're charging us on rent was like, oh my God, like you can buy a legitimate house. And so I was 19, and I knew Corpus had a program, or I didn't know. An agent showed me, and then there was this down payment program through the city, and so I got a home at 19, and I've been addicted.
Awesome.
I've been addicted ever since. I mean, it's an easy process. It's not as daunting as you think, and if a 19-year-old kid can do it,
So many people, exactly what Abel said, don't know, and that's what we do. I don't even consider myself a salesperson. All we do is we get to know somebody and we educate. That's what we do.
Facilitate the process.
That's right, and then we guide them through the process. And so many people are shocked when they understand that they can actually buy a home and stop wasting their money.
Right.
And so now, if it's the time where they are currently renting and that's what we have to do, that's not a problem. We'll keep up with them for when the time is right.
Right.
And so there's programs, like you said, through the city with no down payment. We'll help with some closing cost assistance. A lot of the builders will cover all of the closing costs. And so literally people can move into a brand new home with just their earnest money down, and that's just like a deposit.
That's incredible.
And they're going for like $500 to $1,000, and that's it.
Yeah, wow.
And it's free to have an agent when you're buying a home.
Right.
Let us represent you. Sure. It doesn't cost you anything to have somebody on your side.
Right. You're not invoicing them by the hour.
Yeah.
Correct.
It's literally free for them.
Right. That's a good point.
Yeah. So when you're buying, you don't have to pay to have us present you.
Right. No, that's a really good point. I never thought about the business model, so to speak. You only gain when they gain, so to speak.
That's right.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's right. They don't pay a dime. Sellers are the ones, that when we meet with them to get the valuation of their home, that we'll go over every single detail that goes into selling. But with a buyer, it's all for you. It's all given at no cost, and people don't understand that. So it's just that education.
That's great.
We love educating.
Yeah, well, that is the process. It certainly is. Have you noticed any barriers that you would say are still out there to make home buying easy?
Sure. A lot of people, especially, I will say this, on the South Side are used to a specific way of life. Sure. And so they don't mind the rent, and they are fearful. And so that's one of the things we're excited to be able to do this podcast with you, is to hopefully alleviate some of those fears, to really tell people and share with them it's not that scary. You just kind of said it yourself when you were 19.
I was scared, but I mean, not that scared.
And that's what grown-ups do, right? Like, that's the next step.
But you invested in yourself.
Right. No, it made all the difference. Helped pay off some of my student loans when I sold it, And
Yeah.
again, just I knew better than I never wanted to rent again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, rent. You're just
One of-
giving money away. You
Yeah.
might as well just invest in yourself, get yourself a home, and put the money and value into your home.
Absolutely.
One of the things I will say is credit challenges. So that could be a barrier, and that's a real barrier. What I always tell people is, look, you didn't get here overnight, so don't expect a quick fix overnight.
Sure.
However, we do have our connections to be able to set you up with a professional credit repair company that will get you to where you need to be in a much quicker time than you might think.
Right.
So we just heard the other day of somebody in credit repair for 2 years. If that is the case, y'all need to call us right now because you should not be in credit repair for that long.
Okay.
So everybody's different, but we have all the connections. We're basically a phone book, is what I say to my clients. We have a person for everything. So that, I will say, is one issue that people think I'll never be able to because of my credit. Give us an opportunity to connect you with the right people, and we'll help you to get to where you need to be.
That's great. I'm going to ask a hard question. When people start hearing about urban redevelopment or the new pockets of neighborhoods, the G word gets brought up a lot: gentrification. Do you have any take on that? Any thoughts on that as a word? What I've said, as far as my perspective, the East End, maybe we could use that word, where I think loosely tenants were vacated from their home because that owner sold, versus maybe on the South Side you see a lot of folks own the home themselves and they're not necessarily tenants. There's like legacy home ownership, so to speak, that when they're ready to sell, they have that equity, I guess, to go invest in something else, so to speak.
I haven't really experienced any kind of, I guess, hurdles with that part. When it comes to owning and renting and then becoming a landlord, there's a benefit for it, right? And so you don't see a lot of multiple rentals, if you will, but I think we're seeing more of that coming about. But I guess I really just haven't seen that as a hurdle.
Well, no, and
Yeah.
that's fair. That's fair. Just had to ask the word because
Yeah.
it gets brought up a lot. And
Yeah.
I like I said, I think that's a loaded term, but you see the way these pockets are developing. It's not per se in that cliche urban rental market. There is homes to buy. There's still homes to buy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I will say that inventory is low, though.
Yep.
One of the things now, it is, making the move to a seller's market. And so it's not quite the same when it comes to the buying process on the resale side. So builders are a little different. You either go into a home that's already in production and they'll give us, the time frame, or it'll be a quick move in possibly, or they build. For a resale home, and it's a good home at a good price, located in a good area, we're getting multiple offers. And so the inventory, there is a shortage. So good news for the sellers, people who are thinking about selling their homes. Time is now to be able to get that value because they are getting multiple offers. And then for the buyers, we just have to be ready.
Right.
And so we make sure that they're ready before we go house hunting.
It's crazy. You can put a sign out and say this one's for sale, and within 5 days you just have offers coming in.
It's competitive, very. So the home I told you that I have on South Cross, I remember fearing being outbid almost too.
Yes.
Yeah. So I guess let me see here. Do you guys, with respect to the business that you guys got going on, if you had any sense of, you've seen what shook up into 2020, do you have any kind of thoughts on what might, I guess, any advice for going into 2021? Is it time to buy now, or what does the market look like next year? Or?
So rates are at all-time low. As we know, that could change, but what the predictions are, are saying is they should be around for at least the first quarter. We might see an increase going into the second quarter of the year.
Okay.
But now is the time to buy if you are ready, because you're guaranteed a good rate if you have, all the things in line, right? When it comes to selling, same thing. you're in a great position to be able to get a ton of equity for your home. I have clients that, in fact, today I'm meeting with somebody who just purchased like a year and a half ago, and they've already have more than 10,000 equity in their home.
Nice.
That they are going to pocket after, all the estimations. And so it's just the right time. 2021, we don't know what's going to happen. There's a lot of speculation, obviously. Sure. But, hopefully we'll still be in a strong market. And hopefully those rates will stay low is what we're kind of predicting for the real estate industry.
But I guess in general, if you had some advice, now's the time.
Now's the time. Rip off the Band-Aid. Do it afraid. Don't be scared. Just go for it. Because there's great properties out there that you're able to gain from, and then next year you might have more equity in it just like that. So it's a great time to buy.
I think it's called turnkey equity, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Well, any parting thoughts? There's we've been talking a lot about the business. Is there any personal shout outs you want to give, or any love you want to give out to some folks?
We work with several vendors. We have several vendors that without them we could not be where we are today. And so we have a ton of different people who have helped us to be where we are. Family, friends also send us referrals that we truly appreciate as well. But it literally is a circle, and it's how the world turns. And so in the real estate industry, our title companies, our lenders, our credit repair companies, even our
builder friends.
Inspectors is what I was trying.
Yeah.
Everything. Water softener companies. Literally, we have everything when it comes to home ownership. That without those vendors on our side, we couldn't do what we do. And so we feel really blessed to be able to have those partnerships.
Our painters, AC guys, we have a circle of everybody that we actually stay with and work with.
You guys put something in perspective for me too. It's not just agents, right? When you sell a home, it's like it's a team of people.
Yes.
And if you don't have that, it's kind of like, well, why don't you?
Right.
And so we really do. And it's kind of like, okay, who do we have for this? Cleaning company. We literally have everything. That's because you have to be ready. Even dealerships, auto dealerships, buying a home and buying a vehicle, some reason go hand in hand.
Oh, yeah.
If you buy a new car, all of a sudden you want a new house. If you buy a new house, you want a new car.
Right. You need that garage.
Yeah, it's
there you
go. That goes hand in hand too. So we have those connections as well, and we make new connections. We have multiple connections with different vendors as well and different lines. So we just appreciate everybody that we work with, and anybody who allow us to give them the opportunity to help them through the process. We appreciate them because they're part of our business too.
Well, we appreciate you and being a chamber member as well.
Yes.
I thank you. Next year, we're hoping to get out there more and network, and so I know we'll be seeing you at some of our events.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for being our guest today.
Yes.
And I very much got some insights, and I appreciate y'all's thoughts. Next time you know about another wait list, please let me know too. I'm interested in that.
That's right. We'll get you on board. That's right. Well, so I have a number,
Yeah, please.
Yes.
Yeah, please.
So we can put you on a lot right now.
That's right. So our website,
Yes,
www.zepedateam.com. You can go in there. Zillow's awesome. Realtor.com is awesome. But for whatever reason, the information is not
dated,
always.
right? It's not accurate.
It's not accurate.
Yeah.
So people will tell us, oh, we're interested in this address, and it's already sold, or it was never on the market. And so if you go to our website, you're able to do a search with more accurate information.
That's great.
Also, phone number 210-387-2584, and we can give you an assessment over the phone if you don't want to meet COVID. I get it. But everything's free, and so don't hesitate.
There you go. With South Chamber members and family and friends, please, if you're interested in real estate, connect with the Zepeda Team.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I want to thank the audience for joining us today. This has been a great show. You have been given the business from the South San Antonio Chamber of Commerce.